Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I want to talk about what happens when outsiders hear lies about you from the narcissist in your life. Then they hear your version of things, which leads to them pulling away from you and the narcissist in question. You see, oftentimes the narcissist is so convincing, because they might not bash you right away. They will drop breadcrumbs regarding how terrible you are. All the while they are portraying themselves as the helper. My mother was and is a genius at this tactic. And little by little they add more and more to what they say. And before you know it, the narcissist in your life has turned a lifelong friend against you. But there are instances where the narcissist in your life starts this routine with someone you are close to. And this person almost right away tells you what's going on. And you are able to do your best to tell them the truth. Then over time you notice this person, though it appears they believe you, to gradually pull away. And you think to yourself, what's going on here? Well, there are a couple of things happening. First and foremost, for normal people this is anything but normal. It freaks people out and makes people uncomfortable real quick. Because let's face it, narcissistic abuse is a very weird thing. And the things that narcissists have done to us defy any logic. And when you try to repeat these stories, it makes you look like the crazy one. But let's say they believe you to a degree. Sometimes these people just want nothing to do with the situation, so they pull away from you and the narcissist as well. You see, my mother was able to successfully ruin all of my childhood friendships in one way or another. Most of them she was able to fully convince them I was a bad person. However, there were others that very nicely and politely pulled away from having a friendship with myself, but wanted nothing to do with my mother as well. You see, to normal people they see this as a big mess they want nothing to do with. And in all honesty, I can't blame them. And they are showing you healthy boundaries actually. They are confronted with something toxic. And they back away, getting themselves out of any danger. Because they know there are other healthy people out there they can have friendships with. The thing that's bad for you and me regarding this is we lost some good friends. And the narcissist gets what they wanted. Now granted, the narcissist would love to take complete control of your friend, calling them all the time, gradually turning the knife in your gut by hurting your image with others. But if they can get someone to just leave you alone and you miss out on having a normal friend, they still see it as mission accomplished. Because a narcissist wants to keep you in a constant state of dysfunction. And by you having a normal friend in your life, this gives you a chance to see how normal people live. It gives you a chance to have good experiences and the ability to rewrite those tapes in your head and replace them with good memories. So the narcissist that gets a hold of your friends puts a stop to all of these good things you are trying to achieve. Some they can turn to the dark side. And some just distance themselves because it's too strange of a situation. This is why you need to be really careful with your information and your story and who you tell it to, if you tell it to anyone at all. And that's because most normal people will have a hard time understanding this type of stuff. And when I say if you tell anyone at all, what I mean is in a normal setting. Such as you join a group for a hobby you like. You make some friends there and you've hung out with some of them off and on for a couple of years now. Would I tell any one of them my story of narcissistic abuse? Not on your life. And the truth is, I don't owe them my life story. And on top of that, it's a good chance these people will have no idea what I'm talking about, and it might be seen as something that is unbelievable to them. And if they do believe me, this strange information can greatly affect how they see me, and it may not be for the positive. So I keep my boundaries in place. And I will keep this information to myself. Also, if you are in such a situation and you have limited contact with your narcissist, don't tell them about this group you've joined. Don't say, "Oh, I can't, Mom, because I'm going to such and such a group on Friday night." Trust me. This narcissist will use whatever means they can to track down this group and call this group. And talk to the people there about you. And no matter if they believe it or not, this good situation is now ruined. If something like this were to occur, you will notice the people that were contacted will now treat you differently regardless if they believe what was said against you or not. And these people may be the nicest and most fair people. But if they haven't had dealings like this before, they were raised in a healthy home and have had limited experiences with narcissists, you will become an instant Martian to these people. Every time you enter the room you will feel the stares. And you will notice getting together and hanging out will be less and less. Because normal people want nothing to do with this type of stuff because they quite simply can't wrap their minds around it. I lost all of my childhood friends because of this. Either they ended up believing it or they ended up just feeling uncomfortable and backed away. And when I took a look at this dynamic, it made me a lot more careful about what I say and who I say it to. If you have narcissists in your life that you can't go no contact with, and they are in your life with limited contact, do yourself a favor. Keep your new friends far away from this stuff. Now, will there be someone out there you can tell this to? Sure, maybe. Maybe someone that you develop a close one-on-one relationship with. Such as a girlfriend or boyfriend you've been seeing for quite some time and you've developed a deep connection with. And especially if they've had some sort of dealing with a narcissist before. But talking about this stuff to a normal person that has limited experience with narcissistic abuse can mess up a friendship because they more than likely won't get it. I remember a long time ago, when I was with Susie and I was trying to get her and us help foolishly. And I spoke to a doctor about what was going on with the hopes of him seeing us. And he said to me, "James, if you told me what you just told me 5 years ago, I would have thought you were absolutely nuts. But in the last 5 years I unfortunately dealt with a narcissist in my personal life. And I know what you are telling me is the truth. And my advice for you is to stop trying to help this person and help yourself by escaping." The point of this is he fully admitted if he didn't have experience with a narcissist in his personal life he would have thought I was nuts. And so it's easy to see if a friend even halfway believes you. They might think this is too much for them to take on as a friend. And then you might see them start to back away. You know, it's so much easier it seems to explain to someone that you have a drunk parent. Or a parent on drugs. Especially if they've seen this behavior in your parents. So when you tell them your story, they might say, "Hey James, that's terrible. Whatever you need, I'm here for you, man." But tell them about narcissistic abuse and you see the eyebrows go up. And the look of disbelief. Then it's the possibility they might believe you but still might pull away from you because the situation is just too strange and they want nothing to do with it. This can be hard for victims because sometimes we just want someone to understand. And we want to save friendships we see being ruined. Ruined by our narcissist. But sadly all we can really do is walk away. And do better next time. Do better in keeping the narcissist away from our new friends. Doing better by knowing we don't owe all or any of our friends justifications for our lives. And if we find one friend or loved one in our lives we can tell this to and that's it, then we need to understand this is what it is. We grew up in a home where we were narcissistically abused. We don't have the same stories as everyone else. And it's not worth to try to fit into a situation where everyone is sharing and then we share our horrible life story. When in doubt, keep it to yourself and protect your boundaries so the narcissists in your life won't have access to those you work with and those you are friends with. And if one person comes along that understands your story, that's wonderful. But don't try to force finding this person. Nor should you break your back trying to maintain strained relationships that your narcissist help ruin. Because even if they believe you, your relationship is altered and more than likely it won't go back to being what it was. All you can do is better yourself and move forward. I'm curious. Have any of you noticed this pulling away even if your friend acted like they believed you and what you were saying? I'm curious to see how many of us have gone through this and how you are handling it. Because iron truly sharpens iron. Us sharing our knowledge, I believe, truly is not only helping us but it's helping the next group coming behind us. It's giving them a roadmap on how to get away from this toxic mess and a better chance at living a healthy life. And that's what it's all about. Building a better road for the future. Like I always say, knowledge is power. The more we know, the more we can live happy and healthy lives. Until next time. Bye for now and be good to yourself.